video, and we're getting down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to go, guys. Let's see, what are we gonna get? Ink. Oh boy, ink. Okay, I got some inks. Let me gather which inks I want to use, and I'll probably have to use some watercolor paper, and then we'll just, you know, put it on here, and we'll go from there, guys. Inks. Okay, so I changed my mind. I think what I'm going to do, I am going to work in my journal. So I was trying to think outside the box because the prompt is ink, so it's open to interpretation, obviously. So I will be using ink in the last part of this journal spread. So here's one of my focal points, and here is the other one. I don't know. I didn't realize this was going to be too big, but I could just cut it. I don't know if I'll use this. It's pretty. Maybe I'll just do this in the middle like I do. And I wanted to do some background. I just got some, you know, leftover scraps to build the background with some layers. So I'm going to start off with the book pages, of course, because and anyway, I wanted to keep it with paper because when I do the ink towards the end, it should soak in or adhere to the paper. Anyway, I've got some paper bag. I'm just going to rip. I don't know how I'm going to place them. I do think I want some long strips. So, like, have this one here. I'm just going to start gluing and be random. Not think about it too much on this one. And just glue it on here. Here, but I probably, I'm trying to think, nope, let's get this down, like at least in the middle, so if I want to layer or put on top, I can do that. So, fold this. Sometimes you just gotta think about these things, huh? Just a little bit in your planning. So I am just going to glue like right here just to anchor it. That way, like if I wanted to put this over that, I could. Let's just make sure it closes. Okay. Yeah. All right, you know, and then I could do, I kind of wanted to frame the, I forget the name of these flowers. I have it on the tip of my tongue. And then I was going to have like paint come out of it, the frame kind of thing. That was my idea anyway. So. Just layers of paper, recycling, of course, using what you have always. Just do a square there. And then I can do a few, just a little bit of stamping, a little bit of paint. Let's see what other colors. I have some of this vellum I want to use. So let's do some of this green. So I've got, I could just do this postcard here. paper bag on this side, a little bit there. Kind of going from left to right. We'll have some of this. We could do that like that across there as soon as I figure out what goes here. Let's do a dictionary. Like, maybe like that. I think these are mums, right? Pretty sure. Mums. I never really, I don't know, when I was a kid, I would see these flowers and I'd be like, eh. But now as an adult, I really like them. Don't understand the change, but I think that obviously our tastes change, obviously, as we get older. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the right side of the page and come back to you when that's all done. Alright, so you guys can see what I was trying to do here is there's my focal point. I know it's in the center. Technically not supposed to be, but that is just the way it landed. And then I just layered some papers, you know, randomly, kind of like a collage. So now I want to build up, I think I'm going to take some white, just white paint, not gesso, in some areas and leave some of these peeking, like some, you know, leave some streaks so that some of these papers, but I feel like this needs to dry a little bit more before I add paint. So I may do that. And then after I do some white, I'm going to do a little bit of inking. Then I'm going to add some texture paste. I'm going to use some of that orange, and I may use some tissue paper. After I have this build up with some textures, then I'm going to come in with some ink. And I was thinking where I put the ink might be where the tissue paper is, something like that. I don't know. That's kind of what I had in mind. I'm gonna let this dry for a little longer before I add the white. I'll come back when this is dry and we can add the paint. And that'll give me some time to pick out, oops, the stamps I want to use. Just very light stamps, just not, I don't want that to be the focus. I just kind of want to give a sense of where your eye can roam around the page. Alright guys, let's let this dry. I'll get my paint ready and figure out what stamps I'm going to use. Okay, so this is dried, but I think I'm going to put some tissue paper down first, I decided, before I started painting. Because I want to kind of, don't know exactly. In my head, I kind of wanted something like that. A little bit like, we'll just go with it. I'm just gonna put some tissue paper down. See, it's still kind of not dry, so I just kind of wanted to build some texture because I don't have any of like that texture, real texture paste. Would be cool to have someday, but just at the moment we'll just use tissue because I mean, you can kind of just because my idea was to use the ink on the tissue because it just bleeds, and but I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to portray. If I should just do what I usually do, like this is just a frame and the mums are coming out of it. I think we'll just go with it. Out of the paper. Let's see, if we're going like this, do we want more coming out of here? Or something like that. Out, kind of not be predictable, you know. All right, well, I'm going to sit and play with this, and you can see kind of where I'm going with the tissue paper. Sit and play with this for a while, let it dry real good before I put the paint on. That might have to wait till tomorrow for me, but for you will be just a second. So, all right, guys. All right, lovely. So it is the next day actually, and I was playing around with the tissue paper because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, and this is what I came up with. Because I just really wanted to do something. So I glued it all down, but then I thought, man, I should have painted. So what I'll do is, I want to do some sort of orange or green, maybe. Just slight texture, maybe some lines, so when this is out with the ink. But I need to probably think about what color ink I'm going to use first, because my thoughts were to wet this and then just have the ink kind of just flow on the tissue paper, right? But then I kind of wanted to make this a little more fluffy around here, but maybe not, because there are some parts where you can see the glue, so I can just add some more tissue or something. So I just thought I'd check in and let you know where my thoughts were on the progress of this. Then I kind of wanted to twist these around, these little ends, and glue them kind of like that after the ink has dried. So those are my thoughts. Let me figure out the paint and the ink colors. I'll probably mix some ink. But yeah, it's different. It looks like a flower with a flower within the flower, like a sunflower, I guess. That's my thoughts so far. So anyway, guys. All right. So I think I got it figured out. I got my plastic palette actually. So I'm going to use these textury, but I'm not going to use a lot. I want to be light with it. I want to tone it down with some white, just because, you know, it's the color. So I'm just going to use a little bit. I always say that. I'm going to do my best to have some self-control here. But sometimes with paint, you know, Oh, and these are the inks. I'm actually going to use India ink. Dr. P. Martin's Bombay. So, but let's get this background kind of figured out. There, it's a lighter orange, peachy. Kind of matches a little bit better, a little bit. So, okay. I always forget to decorate the little tags, so we'll just put some of this on here. All right, so my thoughts were just to kind of maybe do just something in the background, just very subtle. It's a little texture, you know, not to cover up too much of the, but I think what I wanted to do before this was add white. Darn it. Guess we'll just go with it. Because I like the background papers, I didn't want to cover them up too much. Okay. Do some more, just little squiggle lines, mark making. Sorry, those boys just started. They just settled down, and that would be my Roscoe, the little black and white pup. He's the most honoriest one out of them all, and he is my husband's favorite. Maybe because their personalities are a lot alike in a way. So, all right, so I'm gonna let that go. And I did want to add some white. Get some of this wiped off. Okay. I love this paintbrush. I need to get a smaller one. And I think I need to get like a slightly bigger fan brush. But I kind of was just wanting to, I don't know, let's just see what happens if I just do that. Subtle enough. It's not really what I had in mind, but I'm just gonna go with it. Oh my goodness, and now Riley. Sorry guys. Although some of my viewers quite enjoy the snoring puppies, so I appreciate you guys for your cute little comments about them. The thing with this brush is I feel like it uses a lot of paint. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. let this dry. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think. I say that and I keep painting, don't I? You kind of want both sides to match a little bit, don't you? There we go. Right. All right. Shall return. Okay, so I got some of that green and some white now. I'm just gonna make it a little bit slightly lighter. I think I need some more white though. So I went ahead and kind of added more stripes. Okay, so I kind of wanted to do a few more marks, so I don't even know what I want to do. So maybe we can just do some lines here. And maybe just do circles or something. Just to create a little bit of interest. I don't even know if you're going to see it when the tissue paper is down. Okay, gonna leave that for now. See, I'm not sure if I just know when to stop. Okay, I'm stopping. All right, and let that dry, and then we'll proceed with the ink part. Okay, lovely. So I think that's pretty dry. I did say I wanted to use some stencils really quick. I have this cute little border thing. So before, goodness, I didn't even get to walk these guys today. It's been raining, so it's been too wet. If I didn't have the pups, I'd go out on my own, but so just going to some interests like here, but not just a little bit. I don't want it to take away too much from the, maybe here at the corner, just ever so randomly, kind of. I got paint on there. I'm sure. I think it comes off all right. Oh well. Okay, let's try this again. I think I'm just gonna not use the block because these aren't sticking. I'm just going to try this again. It didn't. There we go. Do one here. And one at the corner there. I think that'll be done for this one. Okay. There's, oh, I want to do this curly Q on the edge, on the edges here. Okay, and one at the top, I think. Yep, just do there. And here, right. Okay, done with the stamping. Now for the experimental part here. Okay, so we have these. There is some paint on them, no biggie deal. So what I'm going to do, okay, I do have a brush. My thoughts, I'm gonna start here and I'm just gonna wet this part and part of this the tissue to see where the ink goes. So I'm just gonna start here. I was trying to mix up, that almost looks fluorescent, but this is called bright red. Actually, I want to mix it. Goodness, you guys, sorry about the snoring. I wanted to mix a little yellow in with the red. And let's see. I love this red color though. If I could get a fingernail polish, I might have a fingernail polish in that color. I love that. Okay, so I feel like I need more yellow. Probably went a little bit too much on, maybe not. Okay, no, perfect. So what I wanted, my thoughts were, is to tip this a little bit and just see if it would, you know, bleed with the water. Or do I even need the water? I could just paint the tissue. And I could spray, I just didn't want to spray the background. Pretty neat, pretty interesting. I love the watercolor or the ink on the tissue paper. It's neat. Definitely going to be playing with more tissue paper in my work, I think. Definitely loving that tissue paper, and the nice thing, it's at the moment still inexpensive paper to buy. So be a neat substrate to work with. I think I'm gonna just spray this. Now I feel like there's a lot of orange. Sorry guys, snoring. I hate to wake them up though, because they're sleeping so good, but so this is interesting. At least I'm gonna have to work on the color. Too much orange, but we can build it like we did the background, right? Okay. I'm gonna add some more yellow. Let's see, yeah, that lightens it up. Gives it kind of a peachy, nice autumnal, as some people say. I just say autumn. It is bleeding into the background, but do we care too much? Should I? I don't know. It might just glue down onto the background. which is fine. Oh boy, kind of looks like a mess. You know what I could do though? Later, once it dries, I can get some of my crayon, my Crayon Dash crayon, and give it some darks, like some midtones. Oh, and even the background kind of comes in. Okay, well, let's just go with it, guys. Again, this is my experimental journal, so I'm going for it. I'm just going to go for it, guys. Yep, I'm going to have fun, be carefree, you know, carefree, and just enjoy the discoveries. Because you never know. I know this isn't the glue. It may stick, it may not with the water. Look, I just tore some. I need to not be so heavy-handed. I'm just excited. Right, guys, I'm going to work on this a little bit. You kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. I think I'm going to let that dry and come in with my Crayon Dash colors, since they're water soluble too. Create some low light or shadows. That's the word I was looking for. Shadows, to make this more dimensional. But there you go. There's the ink, the prompt on tissue paper. Neato. I kind of like it. It's different. All right, guys. Be back in a few. Sorry, it got crooked. There you go. Okay, so I went in ahead with my Crayon Dash water-soluble crayons. I mean, even I re-wet it, and it's just so nice because it kind of melts onto the paper, creating some shadows. But hey, guys, I really enjoyed this tissue paper. I think I'm definitely going to be playing with it more with the inks. What I like about this so far is the technique. Like literally, I didn't have to glue the tissue down. It just kind of stayed with the water because of the paint behind it. I love the texture it gets. If you don't have any texture paste, I guess, you know, I'm going to start using tissue paper. I love how the ink flows onto the tissue paper. I like the concept of this piece. It was fun. And I forgot to ink up my little prompt card, so I'll try and do some more of that. Otherwise, it's just going to stay boring. So I'm going to call it here. I'm going to call this one done and get ready to do the next prompt, guys. And remember, I hope you like it. Tell me what you think. It's kind of neat. You can see the layers there. Anyway, guys, hope you're having a wonderful day out there. Remember, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I love you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.